everyone, it's Lexi and today I'll be doing a review and discussion of Creator of Evil by Robert Gailbrath. And for those of you who don't know, this is the third book in the Cormoran Strike series, and it's actually Robert Gailbrath is a pseudonym for J.K. Rowling. And this is kind of like a murder mystery series. The other two books prior have been very diverse. First one kind of dealt with like modeling and like media and all of that, and the second one was more about like publishing and all that. So this one, it's very different than the other ones. I don't want to give away too much for the plot, but basically in this one day Robin, who is Strike's assistant, gets sent a box with a severed leg in it, and it kind of everything else kind of snowballs after that. So like with the previous books, I wanted more background information on Robin, and in this one we definitely kind of get more of Robin, which I really liked. For those of you who are kind of iffy about the other ones, I highly recommend, even if you're kind of not sure about the other two, that you check this one out. This one was definitely my favorite. The book was more focused on the characters, so I think that kind of like made it a little bit more interesting because these characters are very unique. So yeah, I definitely recommend that you check this one out if you haven't already. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Like, you will not be disappointed with this. So that's kind of it for like kind of my non-spoilery review. So if you haven't already, if you haven't read this already, then I kind of recommend that you check out now, so that you don't get spoiled. This was probably like, let me know in the comments below like what you felt about this book. It was probably my favorite of the series so far. I think the greatest thing that I loved the most about this book was that we got more of Robin. I felt like, obviously, like, having read this now, I can kind of realize how J.K. Rowling kind of made her very vague in terms of like her background and all that. And like the reason why Robin dropped out of school, like from university, was because she was raped and all of that stuff. Like, and I feel like that was kind of hinted at various times throughout the series now that I look back on it. But I loved how we kind of got to see how this, like, working with Strike, it's kind of helped her kind of get that back into the groove and kind of help people, and it's interesting to see her character development. I loved in this one how we got kind of more of like the tension between Robin and Strike. Yeah, like I really want them to be a couple. I feel like they complement each other really well. I love how protective he was, like when they were looking for one of the people that Strike thought was one of the murderers, and they went to like that town somewhere up in, I think, northern England, I think. But it was one of those, and then like the guys came out of like the pub and they were gonna go advance on her, and Strike got out so then they wouldn't bother her. And I thought that was really nice. Like, I just think they have a very good friendship, and I really wish Strike acted upon like when when Robin broke up with Matthew. Like, he had the opportunity to express his feelings, and I don't know, I still think Robin, like, and I don't think anyone really likes Matthew, but I feel like Robin needs to, like, you can, like, having known her backstory, you understand now why she is with him for that, like why, even though he's degrading of her and he always brings her down. So yeah, like I was so mad when they got back together again. I just want Strike and Robin to be together. So, like, for this one we also get introduced to a new character, Shaker, and I thought he was quite funny. Like, I have this picture in my mind of what he is, and I don't know, I think he's kind of funny. I think he was a good addition to the series. I did find the murder kind of aspect of this book to be a little bit confusing at times. I think because there was just so many people that you had to keep track of and who was where and all of that. But the fact that the killer was Kelsey's, I guess, uncle, was kind of took me by surprise. I wasn't really expecting that to be kind of the person that Strike knew way back then, who bit his ear, or like bit him when they were boxing. Like, that was really surprising. But I feel like, yeah, and having like the point of view from like the killer's side of it, I thought was kind of interesting to have, because now kind of looking back you can kind of see he always refers to it throughout it, and it's obviously Kelsey's sister, and because I think like Strike noticed like when he was visiting their house how like kept it was and like how everything was in order. I thought that was interesting. And with the flowers, I think I kind of made the connection there with the flowers because I think that was a detail that I picked up on. But I was like, no, I don't think it can be him because Strike looked right at him and he didn't recognize him. So yeah, but that ending, like, I couldn't believe the part where after Robin went to Broadbank's house to try to tell Alyssa that she was with like a child rapist and all of that, and then Strike came into their house and he like yelled at Robin and all of this stuff. Like it took me by surprise because I wasn't really expecting it to go in that direction. When I really think about it though, I think it's a lot of his frustration with having Robin still follow through with marrying Matthew. I think that was like underlining like factor of that because I think he's now starting to realize that he's in love with her. And that ending though, like, holy smokes, like, it was just, does she say I do to Matthew or Strike? Like, we don't know. So when the new one comes out, oh, I can't wait for it to come out. Like, that was like such a cliffhanger. I don't know, like and then especially like when Strike called and Matthew deleted all of her voicemail from Strike. I'm curious to see what Strike said on it. And if, like, I'm pretty sure that will come and bite him back in the butt. Like, I feel Robin is smart enough to kind of know that he kind of wiped out her phone for that part. But yeah, like, I'm super excited for the next book to come out. I'm not really sure when it's going to come out, but when it does, I will be very, very excited to read this. So overall, as I said, I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was really good. So that's it, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you felt about this book and like if you are super excited to how things are going and the cliffhanger. So yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.